Elon Musk has reportedly recently intensified the search for his replacement for Twitter CEO. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so it's so funny with Elon where it's so hard to know where there's what's smoke and what's fire. And I think it's definitely true that we will see a new Twitter CEO in coming months. Something that's been pointed to recently is he testified in Delaware court in an unrelated case to Twitter, but he said, among other things, he said that he frankly didn't want to be CEO of any company, which was funny because he became CEO of Twitter and he's obviously also the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. So, and then he laid out a timeline there of he said he didn't give a firm timeline, but he said it would be a couple months that he would be in charge at Twitter. But he's also publicly tweeted a lot of weird cryptic things following that poll that I'm sure we'll discuss about people supporting his resignation, but saying things along the lines of like, I don't have a successor picked out, no one can turn the company around. And so there's a lot of confusing things. I think also that goes to show that what Elon Musk is sharing publicly is probably pretty different than what's going on behind the scenes, because he definitely is trying to pick a successor. A good phrase that a very well followed Tesla analyst, Dan Ives, but he said Elon needs to refocus on his golden child Tesla, and that's true because if Elon Musk continues to dedicate all his time and financial resources to Twitter, it's Tesla will continue to go poorly, and its stock, I mean, it's down over 60% since he first disclosed the stake. And it's hard to dissect his actions, but it's hard to believe that he's going to continue to let Tesla go down this path.
I cannot wait to talk about Tesla, but first, let's parse through all of his actions over the weekend, starting with that poll you mentioned. So, is this news that he is looking for his replacement in relation to that poll, which the majority of users said that he should step down?
Yeah, so yes and no. Quick little backdrop there, but over the weekend, he had a couple things that were particularly unpopular, including banning some journalists that cover him over some dubious claims of saying that they shared his what amounts to his assassination coordinates by retweeting an account that retweeting information related to an account that tracks publicly available information as private jet. And so that was kind of the lead up, and that was, I think, the last straw for certain people that maybe were on the fence. And so,
And what was the response to that?
I mean, look, as I think it's hard as journalists, it's hard to, maybe parse through and see maybe the objective response, but I think it was pretty overwhelmingly negative. There were analysts that were not happy with it. I mean, it's one thing of when he scraps Twitter's PR team like he did at Tesla, and not being friendly to the media, and then especially he kind of ran the Twitter platform on this pretext of free speech, and it was definitely a weird look. And most importantly, and this was definitely more unpopular, was banning links to rival social media platforms, which is just weird. It's weird that you can't, of trying to ban Facebook and Instagram links on Twitter. So with the poll, he said he promised to abide by it on Sunday night. It closed Monday morning at 6:20 a.m. Had, I think it was 17.5 million votes, and it was 57.5% in favor of his resignation. And then he was weirdly quiet for like 12 hours on Twitter, which is a very long time for him, and basically just didn't address it, which is really weird because he's for better or for worse, he's always active, and just he went back to commentary on the Twitter files and things like that. And his only comment on the matter since that poll closed was a suggestion from a user saying that, oh, it should only be Twitter Blue users whose votes count because they have skin in the game because they're paying $8 a month, or I forget, it's slightly different based on where you buy it, but which is also, that's not very democratic. That maybe so yeah, it'll be interesting. But again, I do think the writing is on the wall. I would be shocked if he's Twitter CEO within the next couple months. But an important thing to point out, he's not just CEO, he owns it. So it's not like there's going to be a CEO that's diametrically opposed to Elon, and it's not like he's not going to have a hand in day-to-day things. And because Twitter's a private company, it's not protected by other regulations that public companies would have. And I think an important thing to point out is a lot of people, it's people are upset of being like, okay, like you're going, he's not promoting free speech and silencing critics and opponents, but he doesn't have to. It's a private company. And it's that there aren't. So while it's definitely polarizing, and there are a lot of people that are celebrating